Can you imagine being so in love with someone that you propose 8 times, only to be rejected each time? That's exactly what happened to Khalid, a 28-year-old man from a small village. His father, had a strange condition. He would only marry his daughter to an extraordinary man. Frustrated and determined, Khalid decides he needs to do something truly remarkable. This decision leads him to an ancient crypt in his village, a place surrounded by dark legends and rumored to be the last spot his parents ever visited. Before he goes, he visits his grandfather, who gives him an old, incomplete book. It's a journal written by someone who had explored the crypt before. With his cryptic guide in hand, Khalid ventures into the underground passage on a moonlit night. He walks for what feels like an eternity until suddenly, the tunnel behind him collapses, trapping him. He pushes forward, desperate for an exit, and eventually stumbles out of the darkness, not into his familiar village, but into a scorching, barren desert. Lost and disoriented, he's found by 2 strangers who guide him to a nearby city. But this isn't just any city. This is the land of Zikola, and Khalid has arrived on their most important day of the year, Zikola Day. The city is buzzing with strange energy, a mix of celebration and fear. As he walks through the gates, he has no idea that he has just stepped into a world governed by a terrifying and bizarre set of rules. Khalid quickly befriends 2 locals, Yaman and Ayad. They explain the shocking truth about Here, money doesn't exist. Instead, people trade with units of their own intelligence. Every service, every piece of food, every single transaction costs you a piece of your mind. The more you spend, the less intelligent you become. You can earn these units by working, but the jobs are grueling and the pay is low. The currency of Zikola is literally your sanity. But that's not even the scariest part. Yaman and Ayad tell him about the tradition of Zikola Day. On this day, the poorest person in the city, meaning the person with the fewest intelligence units, the most foolish one, is selected through a game. And what happens to this person? They are sacrificed. Khalid is horrified. He decides he needs to leave this nightmare of a city immediately. But there's a catch. The gate he came through only opens once a year, on Zikola Day. He's trapped here for an entire year, with a constant threat of losing his mind and his life. Desperate for a way out, Khalid starts to piece together clues from the old book his grandfather gave him. He learns about a legendary, incredibly expensive book that was once sold in Zikola. This book supposedly details a secret passage, an illusion called the Furyk Underpass, which might be his only way home. He also discovers a shocking connection. The book was last owned by a man who arrived in Zikola 20 years ago. While trying to figure out how to get this book, Khalid meets a doctor named Asili. She's compassionate and intelligent, and she sees the terror in Khalid's eyes. Asili agrees to help him navigate the treacherous city and find the book. But acquiring it won't be easy. First, they need to find its current owner. And second, they need to pay for it. The book is known to be the most expensive item ever sold in Zikola, meaning it would cost an astronomical number of intelligence units, more than any normal person could ever hope to earn. Khalid is now in a race against time. He starts working with his friend Yaman, taking on any job he can find to slowly accumulate intelligence units. The work is physically and mentally draining. Every unit he earns is a victory, but every unit he spends on food or shelter pushes him closer to the edge of poverty and stupidity. Meanwhile, he and Azil search the city, following old records and hushed rumors, trying to track down the mysterious owner of the book that holds the key to his escape. As they dig deeper, Khalid uncovers a startling revelation about the book's previous owner, the man who came to Zikola 20 years ago. Through fragmented stories and old city records, he realizes that this man was none other than his own father. His father had also been trapped in Zikola. This discovery changes everything. His journey is no longer just about escaping. It's about uncovering his family's hidden past. Why was his father here? Did he escape, or did he suffer the same fate that now threatens Khalid? The pressure mounts as the next Zikola Day approaches. Khalid's intelligence units are dangerously low. He's constantly looking over his shoulder, terrified of being noticed by the city's authorities, who are always on the lookout for the poor and foolish to sacrifice. He works tirelessly, pushing his body and mind to their absolute limits. Asil supports him every step of the way. her medical knowledge helping him stay healthy and her sharp mind helping him strategize. Their search for the book becomes more frantic. They know that if they don't find it soon, Khalid will almost certainly be chosen for the Zikola Day sacrifice. Finally, after weeks of relentless searching and dangerous close calls, they find a lead. They track down the person who supposedly holds the book now. The tension is almost unbearable as Khalid and Azil prepare to confront this individual. They've saved up a decent amount of intelligence units, but they have no idea if it will be enough. When they finally meet the owner, Khalid is met with the biggest shock of his life. The person holding the book, the one with the power to save him or condemn him, is his own brother. Khalid is stunned. How is his brother here? And how did he get their father's book? The truth that unfolds is darker than anything Khalid could have ever imagined. His brother reveals that he didn't just find the book. He took it. He followed their father to Zikola years ago. In this cruel land where intelligence is currency, he saw an opportunity. Consumed by greed and a twisted desire for power, he committed an unspeakable act. He murdered their own father to inherit his wealth of intelligence units and the precious book. Khalid is left standing in the heart of Zikola, facing a monster who wears his brother's face. He is trapped in a city that kills the weak, and the one person who could help him escape is the same person who destroyed his family. He has no money, his mind is fading, and the day of the sacrifice is just around the corner. Now Khalid must not only fight for his own survival, but also confront the horrifying legacy of his family as past. Can he outsmart his own brother and escape the land of Zikola before it consumes him completely? To find out, you'll have to read the book. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing book summaries.